Improve your English with inversions. Never have I seen such a great video. Hello and welcome to English Speaking 360. My name is Josh and today I will help you understand a very confusing topic, inversions. What is inversion? Inversion is placing the auxiliary or the verb before the subject. For example, in a normal sentence, you would say, "You have seen my video." But if you use inversion, it becomes, "Have you seen my video?" And that turns a normal sentence into a question. One more example. "You will never find a better channel." And that is true, so you should definitely subscribe. Now, if we use inversion, it becomes, "Never will you find a better channel." That is a much stronger sentence. Now, why do we do that? To make questions, to emphasize information, to be more formal, or just for style. And today I am explaining all cases to you. There are many types of inversions. Here's the full list. Today we're going to deal with 8 different types of inversions. And don't forget, if you want to test your skills at the end, take the final quiz. The first type of inversion is questions. Now that is the most useful type. Here's an example. The basic form is "you are ready." So "you are ready" is a normal sentence. It's an affirmative sentence. But if you want to use inversion, it becomes, "Are you ready to go?" In this case, the subject and the verb are in the first sentence, but in the second sentence, in the inversion, it becomes verb plus subject. Now remember this, it's important, because sometimes it is the verb, sometimes it is the auxiliary. Let me give you an example. "You have eaten lunch." Okay, that's normal. That's the basic affirmative form. In the inversion style, you have to switch those two around, and it becomes, "Have you eaten lunch?" But this time around, it is not subject plus verb. It is subject plus auxiliary. You see here, "you" is the subject, "have" is the auxiliary, "eaten" is the verb right here, the verb to eat. "Have" is the auxiliary, but in this case, we switch around the subject and the auxiliary, and it becomes auxiliary subject to make a question. Second type of inversion, conditionals without if. Now in this case, inversion is possible with had, should, and were. Let me explain. If I had known, I would have told you. If we use inversion in this case, it becomes, "Had I known, I would have told you." Had I known. So one more time, the subject and the auxiliaries are switching places, but there is no if in the second sentence. So you have to notice that. It's very important. You cannot say, "If had I known." It does not work. Just, "Had I known, I would have told you." Had I known about the party, I would have gone. The first sentence is everyday English. That's a great sentence. There's no problem with it. The second case, however, is more formal. We use it when we want to be more polite or when we want to use higher level English. Let me give you more examples. If she should call, tell her I'm busy. If she should call is a little bit strange. We don't say that very often. Usually we would say, if she calls, tell her I'm busy. But for the sake of inversion, I wanted to give you the first sentence. And that one becomes, should she call, tell her I'm busy. Should she call, tell her I'm busy. That is a formal sentence. One more example. If he were to move abroad, he would miss his friends. So he always hangs out with his friends, but if he were to move abroad, in this case, were is not a mistake. It is the subjunctive. But if we use an inversion, it becomes, were he to move abroad, he would miss his friends. One more time, the second sentence is a more formal sentence. Third type of inversion, after negative adverbials. Here are some examples. Never, rarely, hardly, little, only plus phrase, not until plus phrase, and so on. I have a great example for you. I have never seen such a beautiful place. Instead of putting never in the middle, you can start the sentence with never. But if you do that, you need to use inversion right here. So I and have switch around and it becomes never have I seen such a beautiful place. Now, why do that? The first sentence is everyday English. There's no problem with it. But the second sentence is more dramatic. It's more powerful. Never have I seen such a beautiful place. So if you want to make your sentence stronger or more powerful, you can start with a negative adverbial and then you use an inversion. But I know you need more examples. That's why I've prepared these. Nowhere will you find a better deal. You've heard that before. Many advertisements on TV, on the radio. Nowhere will you find a better deal because it's more powerful. Little did he realize the danger he was in. It's more dramatic. Only after the meeting did he notice his mistake. You could, of course, say he noticed his mistake only after the meeting, but it's not very strong. It's just a normal sentence. But if you put the negative adverbial at the beginning of the sentence, only after the meeting did he notice his mistake. Ta-da-da-da! It's very strong, it's very dramatic. Now, there are many other common negative or restrictive adverbials that are used with inversion. So here I want to give you as many as possible because they are very useful in English. Rarely or seldom. Rarely does she make mistakes. You notice here, rarely she makes mistakes. No, it doesn't work. She rarely makes mistakes would be the normal sentence, but rarely does she make mistakes. Hardly, scarcely, barely. Hardly had I arrived when it started to rain. Not until I saw her did I believe it. No sooner than. No sooner had we left than the phone rang. In no way am I responsible for this mistake. This is very powerful. In no way am I responsible for this mistake. At no time did they admit their guilt. Under no circumstances should you open that door. Understood? Not only, but also. Not only did he win, but he also broke a record. So all of these sentences are more dramatic and more powerful. The fourth type of inversion, so that, such that, for emphasis also. Here's the first example. The meal was so delicious that everyone asked for seconds. Seconds means a second plate of food. So everybody ate their food, and then once they were done eating, they said, "Oh, can I have more? Can I have more, please?" That is asking for seconds. But this sentence is not very powerful. Here's how to make it more powerful. So delicious was the meal that everyone asked for seconds. So delicious was the meal. That is much stronger. Now, the first one is everyday English. The second one is dramatic or powerful. But it's also used very often when telling a story. Now, let's go with one more example. The noise was such that she had to wear headphones. That's a normal sentence. Such was the noise that she had to wear headphones. One more time here, everyday English, dramatic or powerful English in the second sentence. Such was the noise that. Such the noise was, it doesn't make sense. Here's another type of inversion, agreement inversion. Now watch out, pay attention for this one. We use that in positive or negative statements. Be careful. In positive statements, we use so. In negative statements, we can use neither or nor. Now here's an example. He has finished and I have finished too. The man has finished cleaning and she has finished cleaning too. Now this is the idea, but we use inversion very often when we make a sentence like this. Here's how to do it. He has finished and so have I. So have I. Not so I have. No, it doesn't work. So have I. Now both of these are everyday English. Both styles are very, very common. Now let's move on to negative statements. She isn't ready and I am also not ready. Now this sentence is a little bit weird, but I wanted to put it there to show you what someone would say without an inversion. But if we use inversion, it becomes, she isn't ready and neither am I. Neither am I. Not neither I am. That doesn't work. That is everyday English, very important. Let me give you one more. She isn't ready and nor am I. Nor am I is more formal and it is also often used in British English. Agreement responses, now very similar but slightly different. So one more time, it's used to agree with positive or negative statements. Now here's how it works. I love coffee, which means I do love coffee. So do I. Now the response is so do I. So that's why agreement response. So you agree with what the person said. It means I also love coffee. Why do? Why do we use do here? Because the auxiliary here is do. You cannot say so love I. It does not work. You need more practice. She's very tired. So am I. She is very tired, so be is the verb and the auxiliary here. So am I. Tim can play the guitar. So can Bella. Bella can play the guitar too. So can Bella. We use the auxiliary verb can. He has been to Japan. So have my parents. So my parents have also been to Japan. In this case, the auxiliary is have. He has been, so have my parents. Now I know this is super difficult. If you need help, in the upper right corner, I'm going to add a video there to help you with this. It's one of my most popular videos, so make sure you watch it if you want to learn more about this type of agreement responses. We have studied how to agree with positive statements, but now let's check out the negative statements. I don't like spicy food. So your friend says, I don't like spicy food, and you want to say me too, but you cannot say me too because it's a negative sentence. So you have to say neither do I or nor do I. Both of those mean I also don't like it. Like I said before, nor is more formal and it is used in British English. She isn't happy. Neither is he. Now here be is a verb, but it's also the auxiliary, so we use the verb to be. Neither is he. Another example. He can't swim. Neither can I. I didn't see the movie. Nor did we. Number 6. Wishes with may. This is a little bit challenging. All your dreams may come true. Now, all your dreams may come true is a possibility. It is possible that all your dreams will come true. But when we use inversion, it becomes a wish. May all your dreams come true. So that's something that you would wish someone on their birthday, for example. May all your dreams come true. The first sentence as a possibility is everyday English. There's no problem with it. It just means that maybe all your dreams will come true. But the second sentence is used usually for speeches, toasts, and cards, like a birthday card, for example. If you write a message in someone's birthday card or retirement card, you can write, "May all your dreams come true." May you have a long and happy life. That's something you could wish to a newlywed couple. May the force be with you. You probably know this guy. I haven't seen the movie. I know it's not Star Trek because many people told me it's not Star Trek. It's the other one. May the force be with you is a wish. Number 7, here, there, up, down, in, out, okay? But we're going to focus mostly on here and there because they are very useful. This one is a strange type of inversion. The bus is coming. Now, if we want to keep the same meaning but start with here, we would say, here comes the bus. Here comes the bus. So the verb comes first and the bus is the subject, comes after the verb. Why do we say here comes the bus instead of the bus is coming? You can say the bus is coming, it's totally fine, but here comes the bus is more exciting. Here comes our food. So if you're at the restaurant and you see the waiter coming with 2 plates and you're like, oh my gosh, here comes our food, yay! There goes my last dollar. There goes my last dollar is also an expression. It means my last dollar is leaving my hand right now. It's going away from me, so we use there. One more example. There goes our plane. Imagine that you were supposed to be on the plane, but you canceled your trip at the last minute, and now you look up at the sky and you see your plane zooming by and you're like, there goes our plane. Our plane is leaving without us. Number 8, and the last one, is direct speech. Now this one is optional. Subject plus verb or verb plus subject. So you have both options here. Example 1. Where are we? Jill asked. This one is fine. Jill is the one with the map and she's asking the driver, where are we? That's what she asked. Jill asked. But you could also say, where are we? Asked Jill. That's a very common way used by authors to communicate direct speech. We are lost, the driver said. Or, we are lost, said the driver. Both are fine. Final quiz. Show me what you can do now. Let's go with question 1. If they had studied, they would have passed. Now the teacher is correcting tests and she's like, oh my gosh, my students did not study at all. But if they had studied, they would have passed. Now use an inversion. And in this case, remember it's a sentence with if, so you can remove the if. It would become, had they studied, they would have passed. Question 2. She loves going to the movies and I love it too. Now give me the inversion but use so. You ready? She loves going to the movies and so do I. So do I. Question 3. Our train is leaving. Our train is going. Use an inversion with there. There goes our train. Oh my gosh, there goes our train. There goes our train means that our train is leaving without us. Question 4. I have never been to Brazil. I haven't either. Now the answer here is important. I haven't either. It's an agreement response. Now use an inversion with neither. You ready? I have never been to Brazil. Neither have I. Question 5. He is your brother. Super easy sentence. Now make a question with it. You ready? Is he your brother? Is he your brother? Just use a simple statement and use an inversion to make a question. Question 6. Tara said, I can't believe this. I like her face. So now use an inversion. Tara said, I can't believe this. You can also say, I can't believe this, said Tara. But watch out here. You cannot start with said Tara. Said Tara, I can't believe this does not work. You may succeed in life. Now use an inversion with may, but in this case, watch out. It's a special case. You may succeed in life becomes may you succeed in life. But like we said before, the first sentence is a possibility. The second sentence is a wish. Very, very different. Question 8. He was so tired that he fell asleep instantly. Now use an inversion with so that. This one is more difficult. You ready? So tired was he that he fell asleep instantly. Question 9. She had no sooner arrived home than the phone rang. So you see here in the picture, the door is still open. She just got home and then the phone rang. So how can you make an inversion with that? So be careful here. Use no sooner at the very beginning of the sentence. And it becomes, no sooner had she arrived home than the phone rang. Question 10. I have never seen such a good English teacher as Josh. Now use an inversion and make it nice. Use never at the beginning. Never have I seen such a good English teacher as Josh. And if you think that's true, make sure to subscribe. Great job, guys. I know you need more practice. It's not easy to master inversion, so go to my website for more practice. There you can find written explanations of each lesson for each video. Also, extra activities with the answers included. It's good for students and it's also great for teachers. It's 100% free. See you next time. Bye-bye.